Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to welcome you back for the second session of our conference program. And I would like to proceed straight away with the introduction of the chairman of the second session. I'd like to introduce Peter Stephenson, who is a fire safety engineer with over 30 years experience in the sector. As the business development manager at Warrington Fire, Peter coordinates the business development for the Middle East Fire Engineering and Consultancy. And Peter is a fellow of the Institution of Fire Engineers and currently president of the IFE GCC UAE branch. He has worked as fire safety officer for Royal Berkshire Fire and Rescue Service and as a consultant in the private sector. He is a committee member of the Railway Industry Fire Association and former finance director of the International Aviation Fire Protection Association. I'd like to welcome Peter Stephenson.
Thank you very much, Philip. Thanks for the warm welcome and an excellent session earlier. So welcome back to the second session of today's forum. Before starting this session, on behalf of the IFE local branch, I would like to thank the speakers and event organisers for bringing the forum together. The branch are delighted to support this important initiative and see this as a platform to bring international best practices to the fire sector within the Middle East and UAE, with Dubai being the hub of this important sharing of knowledge. The branch is formally licensed through the Dubai Association Centre, an initiative inspired by Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum to provide a gateway to the world's fastest growing economies, offering an ideal setting for global associations to expand within industries across the Middle East and beyond. The IFE were the fourth to be registered through the Association Centre, and currently there are 70 global associations registered, with 3 to be approved this month. Today's presentation and those within the full Fire Safety Forum programme identify the importance of communication and an understanding of various stakeholder requirements for a project. In fact, in the first of today's presentations, Abhishek highlighted the importance of communication with the relevant stakeholders. He introduced the UAE Fire Code 2018, Chapter 18, which details the responsibilities of the key stakeholders within the life cycle of a building. Looking at the design and construction phase, we should consider the building owners, developers, consultants, house of expertise, material manufacturers, agents and suppliers, materials testing laboratories, and conformity certification bodies, to highlight just a few. When looking at a building that enters the in-use phase, the relevant building management team or FM company becomes a key stakeholder, along with the building occupiers. Most of these stakeholders may have unique challenges depending on the type of building use, including assembly, education, healthcare, office, detention centres and malls. The AHJ should be included as a key stakeholder for input on operational response requirements and ultimately building approvals. Fire codes and standards provide the basis of design for developing a fire strategy and demonstrating a safe building design. As professionals and stakeholders within the built environment, we all play an important role in sharing knowledge and providing information on the infrastructure and building design. We can provide support throughout the full life cycle of a building, including the design, construction or refurbishment, occupancy, which generally is the longest phase, and the future deconstruction and restart of the cycle. Throughout the building life cycle, we protect employees, the public, emergency responders, plant and assets, the environment and brand. As a stakeholder, we can influence the design, product specification and performance, system commissioning, management systems, decommissioning, emergency planning, and providing appropriate facilities for the emergency response and training. The fire safety design may follow a prescriptive code or a performance-based fire engineering approach, but will need to be approved by the local AHJ and satisfy the local requirements, particularly for emergency response. Mistakes can be made at any stage, and the importance of having, maintaining, and communicating a fire strategy cannot be overstated, as it provides a basis of information for all relevant stakeholders. This afternoon's session will also highlight stakeholder requirements and their input into projects and the wider built environment.